Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that's just so deeply human, isn't it? The question of where we truly belong. We're going to be breaking down a really powerful message that offers a surprising answer, moving way beyond the four walls of a house to find the real meaning of home.
So let's just start with this feeling, one that I think every single one of us has had, even if we don't always talk about it. You know that sense of being on the outside looking in? Have you ever felt that way? It's just a fundamental part of our shared experience.
Well, the sermon we're looking at today argues that this feeling of loneliness, it's not something we just have to live with. It suggests there's a real solution, a place where we're actually designed to be. It's not about just finding a way to cope, but about being placed in a community where we truly finally fit.
So how do we make that journey from being isolated to being connected? The sermon suggests it all starts with understanding a really powerful yet super simple distinction.
A house and a home. They sound pretty similar, right? We use them interchangeably all the time. But the sermon we're exploring draws a sharp line in the sand, arguing that they represent two completely different ways of experiencing the world.
And this is really cool. The sermon uses two distinct words from Hindi and Urdu to make this point crystal clear. A house, or a makan, is just the physical structure, the bricks and mortar. But a home, or gharana, now that's something else entirely. It's a household, a community. It's the life and the connection inside the walls. It's where you truly belong.
And this right here is the core promise that underpins the entire message. It's rooted in this idea from the Psalms that belonging isn't something you have to earn or search for endlessly. It's presented as a gift, something divinely given to those who feel the most alone.
So this idea of being set in families leads to a central contrast in the sermon. It basically presents us with a choice between two very different kinds of families, and each one has its own set of rules and rewards.
First, there's the family we're all born into, our worldly family. And look, while these bonds can be incredibly deep and loving, the sermon points out that they're also fragile. They can be a source of pain and rejection, and ultimately, they're temporary. Belonging can sometimes feel conditional.
But the sermon offers this powerful alternative, a spiritual family. See, this family isn't based on bloodlines, but on a shared spiritual connection. It's described as eternal, unconditional, and it connects you to this vast community that stretches across generations.
And this is the incredible promise attached to that spiritual family. This idea of a hundredfold return is absolutely central to the sermon's message. It suggests that whatever you might give up in the world, what you gain in this spiritual home is immeasurably greater.
Okay, so if this spiritual family offers such a profound sense of belonging, the next logical question is, how do you join? What's the path to becoming a part of it?
The sermon lays out a path that has absolutely nothing to do with who you are or where you come from. It's all about action. It's a three-step journey: serving those in need, aligning your life with a divine purpose, and putting that spiritual connection first, above everything else.
And this is where the sermon presents a truly radical redefinition of family. It's not about blood, it's not about DNA, it's about a shared mission. According to this teaching, what truly makes you family, a brother, a sister, a mother, is aligning your life with a higher purpose.
So what does this family actually look like? The sermon paints this picture not of some small, exclusive group, but of a vast, sprawling household that spans all of history.
When you become part of this family, you're not starting from scratch. You're joining a long and storied lineage. The sermon suggests that historical figures like Moses, who's described as a faithful servant in God's house, are now your spiritual ancestors.
And it's not just ancient figures. The sermon also points to people like the Apostle Paul. He often lived like a wanderer with no earthly house to call his own, but he understood that his true home, his true gharana, was this spiritual family.
And at the very heart of this vast family, the one holding it all together, is Jesus. The sermon makes a key distinction here. While others are servants in the house, he's described as the son over the entire household.
And here's the most important takeaway from this whole section. This isn't just ancient history. The sermon's message is deeply personal. It's an open invitation. A place in this vast, eternal family is being offered directly to you.
And joining this family comes with the ultimate promise, a permanent place to belong. We're not talking about a building that can crumble, but an eternal home, a divine sanctuary that will last forever.
So if you accept this invitation, what happens next? What does it actually look like to live as a member of this spiritual family day to day? What's your role in this home?
The sermon describes the church community as the training ground for this new life.
It's the practical, real-world space where members of this spiritual family learn how to do the hard work of living together, how to love, how to forgive, and how to build that unity that is the hallmark of this home.
In this relationship is presented as a two-way street. The divine commitment is one of protection and provision, a promise to watch over and care for the family. And in return, the commitment from the members is to embrace a shared purpose, to serve the Lord together.
And this quote from Joshua is presented as the ultimate declaration of that commitment. It's such a powerful statement of identity and purpose, a line drawn in the sand for every member of the household, defining who and what this family will stand for.
And so we're left with the central question of the sermon, a question that really shifts the entire conversation. It frames belonging not as a matter of like or circumstance, but as a deliberate choice. A choice about which family you will join and where you will build your true, eternal home.